Hey, on that last turkey that you was able to harvest, did you know if he was hot or not? If he was hot or cold? Did you know just by looking at him? If not, then you might want to stick around for this episode of Out Here Outdoors, because I'm going to spill all the beans and tell you, the normal, regular turkey hunter, how to determine just by looking at your turkey if he's hot or not. Y'all stay tuned. Out Here Outdoors. Here we go. All right, so we finna dive right into it. Hey, did you know a longbeard's head will actually get bigger or smaller and even change colors depending on if he's hot or not? For an example, have you ever looked out in the field and seen one strutting all puffed up big? What color is his head normally? White, right? Usually completely white. Sometimes it'll be red, white, and blue when they're just in the field, but 99% of the time it's gonna be solid white, especially if he's got hens around him. Why is that? And that's because he is showing that he is ready to mate, so to speak. He's ready to breed one of those hens. And the way he does that is, the reason his head looks so big and so white is because all the blood, when they're strutting and they're ready like that, all their blood in their body rushes to their head, making it swell up and making it look even bigger, making them look dominant, so that the hens would like to breed them. Kind of like this. And then sometimes if they're feeling aggressive, so to speak, like if they're coming in, you got your decoy set up and everything, and they're coming in strutting sideways and all that stuff, and their head is real big again, and sometimes you can even watch this happen. It may go from white to red, white, and blue. Why is that? What is the difference in the mood swing there? Well, they're going from ready to breed a hen to ready to maybe fight, especially if you got a Jake decoy or a strutter decoy along with the hen. Well, he's coming in there aggressive. That's when that head is going to turn red, white, and blue. You pretty much got him. He's coming. At that point, you really don't even need to call, do you? Because he's going to come right on into that decoy setup, more than likely. Now, if his head is just white, he may or may not respond to your calling, because he's probably got hens around him pretty close. And like I said, he's ready to breed one of those hens that he can already see, usually. Sometimes you can make them break away from their hens and come to you, come to your setup or whatever, and their head will change. It'll change right in front of your face. Like, you can watch it happen in seconds. It'll go from solid white to red, white, and blue. And his chronicles, I can't hardly say that word, but that's the two little, the ball looking things right here on the bottom of his neck. They'll go from white to solid red, real bright red. And then his head might turn solid white. His forehead will be really white when he's the most anxious or the most ready to come in and the most attentive. His head is going to be really, really white right here on the forehead mainly, and the back and the sides kind of turn blue. That's when you got it, right? All right, so he'll come into a decoy at that point. He may gobble a little bit at that point. When you see them coming across the field, if they're coming in, usually they'll start walking real fast, or maybe they might slow down and hit a little half strut or something like that. That's when you know that you may not even want to call at that point. If you do, you might want to do some real soft calling, because he already sees what he wants to see and he's coming, right? So if he's got a solid white head, he's ready to breed a hen, probably got hens in around him. You can call to him. He's probably going to gobble just a little bit, and he may even turn and come to you if you can pull him away from those hens. All right, that's when he's ready to breed. If his head is red, white, and blue, usually that means that they're ready to be aggressive or to fight, and they're probably going to come on into your setup. You may or may not even have to call at that point. If you do, again, you may just want to do some soft calling. Remember, the best call in your turkey vest is going to be nothing. Silence. Silence will kill a turkey 9 times out of 10. Just being quiet and letting him do his thing. He's probably going to come on in once you get his attention, right? Now, let's talk about, that's if they're hot, right? Now let's talk about what it looks like when they're cold. All right, usually their snood, that's the little dangly thing that hangs down. Their snood is gonna is going to draw up real short, and it might even just be a nub right on the side of their head, just a little old nub, right? The whiteness and the red, white, and blue, that's going to go away. You're going to see a red head or maybe a maroon looking head. You may even think it's a Jake when actually it's a longbeard. He's just real cold. He's not interested, right? And a lot of times that's usually when they're just walking, they're not strutting. There's not a whole lot that you can do to change their attitude. They pretty much have decided that they're probably not coming to you, okay? They're really cold. They're not looking at your decoys. They don't have any hens with them. They're just doing their thing. They're not ready to breed anything. They're not ready to fight or nothing like that. You may can change their attitude by getting aggressive on your calling and getting them to gobble and change their attitude. And again, you will see that head color change. It'll either go to solid white or red, white, and blue. And then you got it, okay? But if he comes in, his head is a maroon or red looking, snooze drawed up, his little chronicles, I can't say that word, but anyways, them little balls on his neck right there, they just stay kind of a maroonish looking color instead of really bright red. And then maybe they come just outside of shotgun range for you and they start telescoping. That means they're sticking their head out looking at everything. Well, at that point, you probably got slim to none on chances of harvesting this bird. You better be making a decision right then. Is he close enough to shoot or not? If he's not, let him be. You can hunt him again another day. Because once you shoot at them, either you're going to harvest them or you're going to miss them. And then you got what we call educated birds. And they're extremely hard. If they've already been shot at and called to and all that stuff, they're extremely hard to harvest at that point. Because they're educated. They know what's going to happen. They've heard that call before and they've been shot at. Maybe you peppered them a little bit. Maybe they're too far, whatever. Anyways, if their head is maroon or just red and they're telescoping, trying to look and see what's going on and all that all the time, they're kind of spooky. They're on the cold side. So let's go over that real quick again. If they're hot, they're going to have a solid white head, probably strutting. If they have a solid white head and they're strutting continuously and maybe gobbling here and there, usually that means they have hens with them. You may or may not be able to see the hens, but usually they have hens with them. If you give them a little bit of time and just kind of peck at them a little bit with soft calling, you might can draw them away from them hens and you got a shot, right? They're a little hot. If their head is red, white, and blue, and you have, especially if you have a decoy set up, a decoy spread, a Jake or a strutter with a hen or maybe two hens, and their head turns red, white, and blue, you probably got them. They're extremely hot. That head right there on the forehead will be really, really white. The little chronicles will be solid red. The snood's going to be stretched down real far. You might get them to gobble a couple of times. You got it. You could probably just sit there and not even call, and he'll come on in, okay? And then if he's really cold, like I said, the snood's going to draw up. The chronicles are usually going to be maroon or maybe light red. The head might even be light red, maybe a little white there, but mostly red. You might even mistake him for a Jake, and he's got a long beard. That's because he's really cold, and he's not coming in. He's probably not going to come anywhere near you. He's not interested. He's just walking across the field or whatever the case may be. You might can, in that case, you might can just get in front of him, get where he's going instead of where you want him to be, where you want to call him to. You might can just get on his trail and harvest him that way. But he's probably not going to gobble. He's probably not going to strut or anything like that. You may can call to a bird that's really cold and turn him hot, but it's really hard. So, red head, cold. White head, he's hot. Red, white, and blue head, you probably got it. Hey, I hope this helps out, and I hope y'all learned something today. I hope this maybe help you harvest a bird in the future, maybe next year, maybe even you got some more season this year, which I hope you do. I hope this helps out just a little bit on how to read a bird so that you can be more blessed in the woods. Hey, y'all remember he died for us, so live for him. God bless y'all. We may not always know what we're doing, but we out here outdoors. Hope y'all enjoy it.